Everyone, it's Brenda from My Papercrafting Life, and I wanted to stop in today to continue my series on how to add a second page to the one-page layouts from the Autumn Cottage Project Booklet. I hope that you were lucky enough to get this booklet so that you can put together these beautiful layouts. Now, we have the second page. I've put it together for you so that you can see it. You see that I've done splattering. This is project 2 if you're following along in your guide. And I've left out some of the stickers, but I want to use them on the second page. And so here we go. Now, I've pre-splattered, and if you go back to project 1 video, you will see how I splattered this using a small paintbrush. The thing is that it's nice to have it a little heavier sometimes when you are using a little bit more white space. You may also notice in the project that I have lines for journaling down here that I've journaled, but I didn't do that here because I want to show you another technique if you're going to add a second page. So I've chosen to use this beautiful blue as my background, and I'm going to make sure that that's 1 inch from everything, that it's 1 inch from the bottom and from the sides. And now you know I always put a little bit of, if you've been watching me a long time, you know that I always put a little bit of masking tape on the paper to hold it still. And then I want this piece of paper 1 inch from the bottom and 1 inch from each edge. Okay, so now I have some squares I want to put on this piece. I have to find them. Oh, they're right here. And I have cut squares in wood grain, plaid, and the anise star. And that is because that's what I have on this page, okay? So I'm bringing all those colors. I'm bringing that blue from here. I'm bringing that wood grain. I'm bringing the plaid in, and I'm bringing the anise star. Now I think that is what you really want to look for when you're doing something like this. All of this paper you have left over, so you don't have to worry that you're going to need another paper pack. The only thing that I added was an extra pack of borders and an extra pack of stickers to have the embellishment that I wanted. So I've got this like this with this bottom corner empty. Now let's take a look at what's on this page that we don't have on that page. That is the vellum circles. So what we have once we have this all set up is these squares, and we have this empty space right here, but we're missing this green vellum on this page. So I have an extra 4-inch circle that I have not cut in half. And I'm actually going to move this. This is why we use repositionable. Down to here. 1/4 of an inch away from everything. And I'm going to adhere this circle somewhere here. But I'm going to take a photo mat and put it up on 3D foam tape. Let's grab that 3D foam tape. You could do that on your photos on the first page too if you wanted one. This recipe has kind of a highlight photo on it, and so that's why I have it up. And then we're going to position this vellum just like that so that we've got a little bit of space in between, but so that it comes underneath the photo mat. Now I'm going to flip this over and use vellum tape runner. So I've got to get the vellum one. I love the vellum tape runner because if you look real closely, I put quite a bit on there. I wanted it to hold. We're going to have these about the same distance away, but you don't see that vellum tape. And so let's go ahead and take these backings off the foam squares and go ahead and make this our focal picture. Now, if there's for some reason that you do not like having a focal picture with just one photo and you've got all this space, I want you to consider putting photos here and here and here. Here you can have a whole line of 3x3 photos there instead of the paper. Just make sure you have a balanced amount of patterns in your paper, in your layout, so that it matches this layout right here. So if you were to put 3x3 photos here, that's perfectly okay. You've got each one of the patterns, the blue, the background, the wood grain, the plaid, and the anise, and you're gonna be just fine with that. I love one focal photo on a page, and so I purposely kept off some stickers that I had used on the other page, and I'm going to use those right along here. Food, foliage, and family. And then we are going for an autumn hike. Love that. Let's put it right on this vellum somewhere. And then I've got thankful. And I'm going to put thankful down below here. Before I do that though, I'm gonna grab this sweater. Bring on the knits. Isn't that cute? Let's tuck that in there. And then kind of cluster thankful. Because, you know, I think that sometimes we all get really anxious for that. We're gonna grab some of these. We get anxious for that chilly weather too. And then a small one that will stick in there. So we are matching up the embellishments we have on here. And so I'm not really liking that thankful. Now I've pulled a little bit of stuff off the paper, but I'm okay with that because I'm going to grab some pumpkins and put by this so that we continue on the pumpkin theme. And that's just really cute. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and use other stickers, or something I really like doing is taking these borders, got the tree border, ooh, which I really love. So let's cut this down to 3 inches. And then let's cut another 3-inch piece. And we'll put one 3-inch piece right here and one up here. So you see that adds in a little bit, but I don't want it all to be right down to the base. So I'm going to use some 3D squares again, like I did yesterday. Remember how I lifted up that tree with 3D squares? That's exactly what I want to do here. I want to lift them up so they look like they have a little bit more movement than they would otherwise. So let's get that backing off. put this right down to the bottom, and we have some adhesive to store it, but look at those trees. Those trees are popping up off the page. Love it. And what a nice second page. Now, I said I had a trick for you as far as the journaling goes. Do you know where I want you to try to journal? Is around the sides of the page. Just around the sides. If you choose not to journal that way, I would still go ahead and take my pen, and let's move this off for a minute. And I would go use the skinny line, and I would just draw a line around the outside of the paper to give it a little bit more edge. And do you see how I kind of didn't go straight? It's okay. However you get your lines on there is just fine. And you could do these lines right around the outside of the square, the blue square, or you could do them on the outside just the way I'm doing them. But notice that it's not, doodling lines is not a perfect practice. Don't use your ruler. If you decide to use lines, I want you to go back over to this page and add them there so that these layouts end up matching with perfection. Give yourself some freedom when you do this practice. Nothing is perfect in scrapbooking, and line drawing, doodle drawing lines should not be perfect. Here's where we'll run into this vellum circle, and you're just going to come out about the same amount and put that line on there. And there you go. Now you have your two matching layouts. Let me make sure you can see this fully in the camera. There you go, a second layout for Project 2. Thanks, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.